הבאים לכולם לכנס הבינלאומי הראשון לחינוך לנישואים מיושרים. הכנס הזה לפני כמה חודשים רק היה רעיון שאישה אחת שיש בזיכרון שלה את ההורים שלה ואת הניסיון הנישואים הכי יפים שהיא יכולה לדמיין. והיא חשבה שכל כך חשוב שיהיה זוגות שמסתדרות אחד עם השני, שזה משפיע על המשפחה, זה משפיע על החברה שלנו בצורה בלתי רגילה. נראה משהו כל כך פשוט. נישואים, כולם עושים את זה פחות או יותר, אבל זה לא פשוט בכלל. וסוזן בארת החליטה להרים כנס כזה לזכרם של ההורים שלה, ולתת לנושא לחינוך לנישואים מיושרים איזה מנוף לעתיד לחברה הישראלית. אז אני לא צריכה הרבה מילים, אני רוצה להזמין לבמה לדבר גברת סוזן בארת.
I'm Susan Barth, and I'm the chairperson, and I am so proud to welcome you on behalf of the Yachad B'Osher to the first International Conference on Marriage Education in Israel. The impetus for this conference was my desire to bring together professionals from all streams and motivated laypersons, regardless of their political or religious views, to examine how we as a collective group can become advocates for reducing the rising number of divorces in Israel and creating an environment for happy marriages, specifically through the vehicle of marriage education. The model that I had in front of my eyes as I embarked on this journey was the 52 years of marriage of my parents. They showed me by example what the special recipe for a happy marriage is. And actually someone asked me, they called me and they said, I want to find out what that recipe is. And to me, it's very simple. It's a couple that base their marriage on a foundation of mutual respect, trust, and open communication, shared goals, love and commitment to each other, and family values, and appreciation for the gift that each one found in the other. To show my gratitude to my parents, that is why I dedicated this conference to the loving memory of Fagel Bas Tuvia Nissen and Iser ben Avraham ben Yamin. In fact, when I was looking up my father's Hebrew birthday for this publication, I was thunderstruck, because today was his birthday. So, Yom Holedet Sh'Abba Sheli. The seeds for this conference, though, actually started with the death of my mother 4 years ago. And the spark, it ignited in me. I wanted to do something in her memory. And I thought, what encapsulated who she was? And she was a woman of simcha, always a kind word to say to someone, always the hostess with the mostest. And I felt that a wedding guide would be the best thing that I could do in her memory. And here is the guide. It's available, not as a push, but all the proceeds go to tzedakah. But what was important about this guide was not that it lists all the various details related to a wedding, but it prompted in me the understanding that a wedding is one day, and you can spend months and months and months and thousands of shekels or dollars, but it doesn't mean anything if the day after the marriage has collapsed. So that as part of the wedding guide, I introduced the concept with the help of Dr. Rachel Levmore and Bracha Jaffe of the necessity for prenuptial agreements. So that inside this guide included the tools of not only for prenuptial agreements, but also for premarital education. following the guide, I realized that there needed to be a Yom Ayun that would be talking about the topic in a very public way. And that is how I started the Preparing for Marriage Lovingly and Wisely series. But it was for an English audience, and it's been successful. But that wasn't enough, because there's an entire world of Israelis. And that is why it was so important to me to reach out to all of you, because you're Israelis. And that was essentially the framework that started this conference, to bring together people of all persuasions and to say, we have a journey and we all need to go together. In order to spread the word, I realized I also needed a vehicle, though, and that vehicle has been the creation of the Yachad Ba'osher. It was born because I needed to have an organization that would develop and promote marriage education for all ages, because marriage education has to start from early on. It has to start in the high schools. It has to grow along with us to understand the stages, the behaviors, the benchmarks. All of you in the audience represent the potential group of advocates and partners for promoting marriage education in Israel. The program today offers a gamut of topics, from prenuptial agreements to combining imagination and creation in coping with a marriage crisis, as well as bringing top leading experts from the United States to share their expertise with us. This conference represents a platform, which is the first time that professionals and lay people are sitting together to enhance their knowledge of marriage education, share notes and insights with colleagues in Israel. I want to create enthusiasm for all of you to dream, to sit back and dream, and think about, while you're sitting here today, the ways in which you can also take on projects in marriage education and initiatives, no matter how small to how big. At the last session, the Yachad Ba'osher, and I encourage you to stay, we'll talk about how to help make your dreams come true. Putting this conference together has been a journey, and many months of labor went into it, because I needed to do an international search to bring together the best experts, a dream team, as they say. And I believe that dream team was assembled to demonstrate the importance of marriage education and finding ways to promote marriage education in Israel. My gratitude is profound to the dream team of Dr. Howard Markman, who put marriage education on the world stage, and Susan Heitler, Marcy Pregelman, who came from the States to share their vision and to join us as we create our vision for the future. My gratitude also goes to the speakers, Professor Claire Rabin, Dr. Rachel Levmore, Dr. Susan Seidel, Dr. Dina Zimmerman. Do you hear a few doctors in this group? Amos Zor, Safi Sor Gilead, Dr. Daniel Gottlieb, Dr. Noga Rubenstein Navarro, Dr. Zev Appel. I think he recruited my group from Bar Ilan in the Peers program, Laurie Lurie, and Sherry Miller. Each of you are the vanguard for marriage education in Israel, and your contributions to this conference are greatly appreciated in advance. And a very special thank you to my partners, my family, Osri and Lisa Samin. Not family biologically, but people that I've worked with and become like a family over the last months. And believe me, it's the first time in my life when they said, trust me, I did, and the results speak for themselves. So my gratitude is enormous to them. But seeing all of you out here is a dream come true for me. It is incredible. Pat yourselves on the back, because you're sharing a vision. You're giving up your time, and you're here because you want to be here. It was important to me that this conference be specifically in Hebrew with simultaneous translation, because it's in Israel, because you're Israelis, and because I want this conference to resonate into each of your hearts. I am sure that in many years to come, we're going to look back on this conference and we're going to feel like we were a part of history in creating marriage education in Israel. So now we have a chance to sit back, dream, take it all in, and be part of our journey. And to my gratitude to Hashem, a quick message to my dear parents. I pray that you have an aliyah neshama and the joy of seeing that the seeds that you planted in me, with showing me what a beautiful marriage looks like, will bear fruit for generations to come. Thank you all for being part of my dream.
Thank you, Susan. עכשיו אני רוצה להזמין לבמה אישה שאני חושבת שהיא לא צריכה הרבה מילים. השם שלה הולך לפניה. זה פרופסור קלר רבין, שהיא נחשבת לחלוצה ולמובילה בתחום הטיפול הזוגי בישראל. היא הייתה אחת מהראשונה ששילבה את התיאוריות השונות למציאות הישראלית, שזה לא דבר פשוט. כל תרבות יש להם דברים אחרים, שזה לא כל כך קל להביא נושא ולהתחיל את זה במקום אחר. אז בכבוד רב אני רוצה להזמין לבמה פרופסור קלר רבין.
אוקיי, שומעים אותי? כן? מאוד התלבטתי, אבל עד שאני הגעתי לפה עוד לא החלטתי אם לספר לכם שאני בעצם באבל, אבל אחרי ששמעתי את סוזן עם התפילה ישר לאבא ואמא, אני חושבת שאני יכולה כן להגיד לכם שלפני יומיים אח שלי נפטר. הוא היה רק 51, הוא היה קטן, בן 4, והוא היה מטפל זוגי, והוא כתב ספר על טיפול זוגי. אז אני חושבת שאם יש אחרי המוות משהו, אני בטוחה שהוא מסתכל, ואני אגיד לו שאני אנסה לפרסם את הספר גם שלו. אז גם אני אומרת את זה כי אני קצת מתרגשת מדי, אבל אין מה לעשות. אני מאוד רציתי לבוא. אם זה נראה לכם קצת בלגן, אז אולי אתם מבינים למה. אני גם רוצה להגיד שזה דעות שלי לגמרי, מה שאני הולכת להגיד. אני לא מייצגת אף אחד, ואין דעה אחת נכונה לגבי ההשראה בחיי הנישואין בארץ. זה work in progress. כל הזמן עובדים על זה משנות ה-60, ויש עליות, ירידות וכל מיני. אני אנסה ללוות אתכם במסע, כי אני שמחה שבתוך זה שכתבתי את ההרצאה שלי, אני הבנתי כמה דברים מאוד מרכזיים שהם לא בסדר פה בארץ, שאפשר לשנות אותו. זה היה מאוד שווה. ולא ידעתי שידעתי, זה ככה כותבים, אז פתאום את רואה שאת יודעת משהו. זה מצוין. אני יושבת פה מול אנשים עם המון ניסיון, יש 40% פה מטפלים זוגיים, מטפלים בכלל, 30% פה עובדים סוציאליים, 20%, אני מבדילה עובדים סוציאליים עם מטפלים, כי המטפלים הם בעיקר עובדים סוציאליים, אבל לא כל עובדים סוציאליים עובדים בנושא של נישואין. 20% זה מדריכות קלות ו10% סטודנטים. אני ביקשתי whiteboard כזה, אז זה לא נמצא. אז מה שהחלטתי לעשות במקום שנרשום,